my
What?
dude, right? Do you think Mas Budi wouldn't mind if I just kind of like borrow it and then take it home? I'll be like, Mas Budi, I'm gonna take it for like a week. He doesn't know. He doesn't need to know. He
I
has
don't know
thousands
about
of cards.
that.
I don't think he minds if I take one of these.
You can see not only are they protected by some hard cases, there's a plastic protective cover over it. You can see how
He can
pristine
scan
they
it.
are.
It's like find my phone, find my cards.
Hey everyone, welcome back with us here in the studio, back on the C Morning Show. Obviously, you just saw that last piece about collecting basketball cards.
Right.
Now, these obviously don't belong to us. We have with us here in the studio, Mr. Budhi Purnama Utomo, an avid basketball card collector. Come on in, Budhi. Join us here
Hi,
at the
Budhi.
table. Good
Hello.
morning. How are you?
We just do that. Hello.
Yeah.
First of all, welcome. Thank you for
Yes.
dropping by, and
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for bringing your
Thank you.
extensive collection. I have
No
so
worries.
many questions for you as a card collector, as a hobbyist
And as a
well.
kid who was growing up in the 90s, come on,
Yeah,
Pete.
hey,
We are the
don't
90s
reveal my
kids.
age.
You gotta roll it.
We are the 90s kids.
Right?
Yeah.
But what initially got you started in collecting cards to begin with? Obviously, you're a basketball fan.
Oh, I started collecting cards. I love cards in the beginning, so during the early 90s. And then after that, basketball card, I started around 95,
Okay.
94, 95.
Right.
Somebody introduced me, you should try basketball cards. And I started to play, play basketball at the time too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I started
And back
cards.
then it was common, right? I mean, it wasn't like now where there's an actual card collection kind of hobbyist thing. You used to just be able to go to the store and pick up a
Right.
pack of cards
And it would be
as a
cheap.
kid. Right, exactly.
But not Karl Malone cards.
exactly.
Okay, talking about Karl Malone, we heard you got thousands of his cards.
I think it's about 4,000 different ones.
4,000 just for Karl Malone.
Karl Malone only.
In totes, how many basketball cards do you own?
I don't have any idea.
All right.
I never count like every single.
So that's why if I take this, you wouldn't mind, right?
I do. Because all here is have some memories for me.
Okay.
Like especially when the first box that I opened with my kids, I
Right.
pulled these Kobe cards. So that's the first time me and my kids. So I will never sell that.
Okay, so these are all going to be eventually, or most of them will be left down to the next
Well,
generation.
depends on him and the kids. If they want it, they're theirs.
Right.
If they don't want, just sell it, and then
Somebody has the right price. There you go. Okay.
then you can sell the kids. You can sell mine, and then do whatever you want with it.
Well, so
amazing.
did you remember your first basketball card? What was it?
It was here.
Would you get the first pack?
That's the
Not
first.
packed. It's just card. The
Just
first
one
card
card.
I bought of Karl Malone is this one.
Right.
And I got him signed last year.
Okay.
So this is the first ever when I start collecting Karl Malone. And then the first card I pick up will be this one. And
How much was it? Do you still remember?
how much I bought it?
Yeah.
Very cheap. It was like $10
$10. So how much is it worth now with the signature?
with the signature.
Yeah.
None sold yet. Maybe a few $1,000s.
Whoa!
Here's my question, because we're always seeing, like, obviously this table, I can't even imagine what this whole table is worth right now, but what determines the value of a particular card?
Yeah.
I know the condition and whether
Yeah.
it's signed or not
Yeah.
has a lot to do with it and part of the series that it's from, but who determines these prices?
The market determine it.
Okay, so
for
what
example,
somebody's willing to pay.
Yeah, just like for example, we talk about fine art.
Right.
Some people pay a lot of money for certain type of paintings.
Exactly.
So this is like the fine art. So it depends on the market. Like there's like supply and demand.
Sure.
If the last sold of the items was like, let's say $1,000, you won't sell lower than $1,000
Right.
for the
Yes.
same card, right? So that's how the market or the selling values are. So that's what the collectors are using as a benchmark for selling.
I
Yeah.
have a follow-up question though. There was a time where, I mean, the 90s was a rage. Everyone is collecting cards, and it was a big thing, and people were trading them as well. And then there was a point in time where interest in card collecting kind of
Declined.
decreased, and there
Yeah,
was right, obviously.
Yes,
But
yes.
recently, especially throughout this pandemic, I heard that the prices and the values of cards have just shot up again. There was correct me if I'm wrong, there was a LeBron James rookie card that was valued, or someone paid something like $1.5 million.
Actually, it's $1.8 million. It was a graded 9.5. It's a one rookie patch autograph. I think he keeps two of his as well.
For
He
himself.
invests on his own, yes.
Okay. Now,
even
what
so, even
is
the
making,
players.
what is creating this spike all of a sudden in the pandemic?
I guess, in the 90s, kids like us growing up, sometimes you feel that I want that card, but I couldn't buy it.
Right, at the time.
Now we're like, you've grown up, you
Right.
have your own money, you have kids now. It's like, I can buy it. So that trend comes back.
Oh,
And
it's
now they have
True.
the money.
a fashion trend. Suddenly something comes
True.
back, like the old Jordans, you
True.
couldn't get it back then.
Exactly.
That's right.
And then it's also an investment too. Like you see like the business prospect for it also, right?
Yes.
Now following up from your question, what I want to ask, like nowadays, are the younger generation interested? And also, with with the basketball cards, collecting them.
I think basketball cards or sports card in particular has already been there from like the 1930s, in America. So in Indonesia, kids like us, the 90s are studying it. Now we have I know at least about 2,000-3,000 people in Indonesia that actually collects and trades cards. Some known, some unknown,
Right.
So we try. There's some my kids. They're not really into that yet.
Yeah.
But some other friends of mine, the kids are like, oh yeah, I love cards.
Right. Yes.
They're gonna start with Pokemon. You do
Right,
everyone,
right, exactly.
Because in this digital era we live
Yeah.
in, it's so refreshing to see hobbies that you can really get your hands on,
Yes.
physical objects
Exactly,
that the kids
exactly.
are actually interested in. Now, one of the things that obviously creates a great interest in a card is the signatures. I mean, I see signatures from modern players, young players such as John Morant here even. That's the
Ja
one that caught
Morant.
my eye because
Right.
he's obviously new to the league and you've already got an autographed
Yep.
card by him. But obviously the biggest one in your collection with the most signatures is Karl Malone. And we talked earlier and you had met him on three different occasions, is that
No, I
right?
met him once last year, but
Okay.
it started when he called me in 2015.
Okay.
Out of sudden, he called me. I thought it was a prank call. we spoke
bet.
for 5 minutes, and then it was memorable because it was like we just had finished dinner for my daughter's birthday
Okay.
dinner, and he
Yeah.
called me. I thought it was a prank call, but it's really him. I know his voice.
Right.
So that was 2015.
And how did that happen? Like
How did you connect?
prompted him to call?
One day, the Mrs. Malone, okay, such super nice women.
Oh, his wife, right.
He just texted me, Budhi, can I have your address? Can I have your numbers? I said, I just text him because
Right.
Carl want to send you something.
Wow.
But then the things that he want to give to me, I guess is you saw the four players, Kobe, Shaq, Malone, and Gary,
Right there.
right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh.
That's the one. So
Sweet.
so
You're like buddies with him now. You're like hanging out like couch
It's-
potatoes with Karl Malone.
it's a blessing. I pray that I can meet him already for 10 years.
Right. So then after the call, they called you up.
2017, we went to the States.
Right.
Make some 2 or 3 times arrangement, but we couldn't
Yeah.
make it. I went to LA. They weren't
Right.
LA yet. All continues. But then again, in 2019, we made another trip. This time I said, hey, you know what? I'm going again with my family.
Oh.
Are you available? Yeah.
So practically, Mas Budhi is family. He's like a family.
Yeah, come over to the crib. Come on down.
I'll be coming home talking to my mom, and he'll be talking to Karl Malone. How cool is that?
Now, what does he think of your collection? Obviously, he knows of your collection. I'm sure you showed him some of them, and he signed several of them.
Yeah.
What does he think about the fact that you basically idolized him when you were young, and you've been collecting his card, and he's obviously one of the largest single card basketball player card in your
Yes.
collection?
He asked me, Budhi, why Karl Malone? He asked me
me?
3 times.
Right.
I couldn't answer him. I was starstruck probably. I don't know. I said, I don't know, Carl. I think because you talk about respect, things like that. But
Right.
but again, no, I didn't buy it, Budhi. Tell me why.
I don't believe you.
But again, the truth is, during that time, 1994, I started playing basketball. I just started.
Right.
I have a big body. In Singapore, you are considered above average.
Right.
So the style of play is like the Karl Malone. So I think that's the reason why. But it
Right.
wasn't cool enough to say that that's the reason, Carl.
Right. Not in front of his
I don't
face.
buy your reason. What
Right.
is your reason?
Maybe you could have said, hey, I knew it was going to be worth a lot of money one day. He's a basketball
Not
legend.
really. Carl's card is actually just keep around that value, not
Right.
really high.
Right.
If you talk about investment, people will go into a Jordan, Kobe's.
Kobe's.
I did a statement before that Kobe's Jordan cards is more stable than gold.
More stable than
I
gold.
would say so.
You heard it first, ladies and gentlemen,
Now,
right here.
a lot of these players that we're discussing now are players that have long since retired. Obviously, the late great Kobe is not even with us anymore.
Yeah.
But, their value can still continue to go up. Well, what's the reason behind some of this? Could it be for Jordan? Could be maybe his shoe line has something. Does that have to do with the value of his cards as well?
Let's talk about Jordan. The Last Dance on Netflix. When it started, it shoot Jordan's card like 2 or 3x.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right.
Kobe's documentary is coming, guys.
Yeah.
So you know
Right.
what to do.
So obviously, when Kobe passed away, his cards shot up too in price.
Yes, correct. I think especially his autograph.
Right.
I think it's gone around 10x.
Wow.
Right.
Because he's passed away, and all these cards has become limited suddenly. You know, people are chasing after his cards. Yeah.
Now I want to get the inside scoop from Budhi here. I myself am currently a basketball fan, so is Kay. Give us the inside scoop. What of the younger players' cards should we start looking out for? Maybe
Exactly.
maybe get a couple of them now in our collection. So maybe 10 years from
I was
now,
gonna ask that. That's
I have
true.
something to leave my kids.
The guys in the collections world were talking about Luka Doncic. If you bought his card 2 years ago,
Right, Luka.
now it's already 10x.
Already.
Yep, because he's that good. Tatum, Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Yes.
I bought this card so cheap at the time.
Right.
This was
Probably
during,
4x right now
so you got these during their rookie
during the rookie year.
year. See.
So what I do is I can share a little bit of what I did.
Okay.
When the key rookie cards come out, I just make the whole complete set.
Get them.
Just get everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Low player, you never know. Sometimes you buy very
Exactly.
cheap. Low player, it can be shoot up to the sky
Exactly.
one day.
Yes.
For example, at the time, nobody knows about the Aaron Fox.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, just gone up.
I'm gonna get my AC4, man. Alex Caruso. I'm getting Caruso's.
Beside Karl Malone, I invest in currently, of course, Jordan, because Jordan is everybody
course.
collects Jordan.
Yes. Yes.
Kobe, I'm not really into that, but Kobe has a good, big fan base. You know, if the fan base is big, then the potential for the cards to go up is also higher.
Right.
Jordan, Kobe's, right?
That was a good advice though coming from you. Just buy everything first, you know, and then
Cheap.
of course if you love
If you can't
basketball.
afford too expensive one, yeah, buy hoops. You know, the base rookie cards.
Right.
Get the whole set. If the Zion going up, Moran going up,
Right. Right.
that $10 that you pay, it could be like $50.
Right,
You can
and
still make money.
the opposite could happen. You could be shooting for, let's say, oh, Zion, he's the next big thing, and you get a whole bunch of
Right.
Zion cards, and then it turns out maybe he wasn't as great as anyone thought, and then the value just kind of stays where it is.
Okay.
If you get everybody, some go down. The rest, maybe there's some actually has the potential.
Interesting.
So mommy, you got investment, baby. Your investment's right here.
No, the funny thing is about my wife said, you know why I spend so much on your cards? The moment of truth is when I could be able to sell my cards,
Yes.
pay for the school fees.
Yes,
Right.
one
She's like,
day.
all right.
How old are your kids?
M1 is 13,
Okay.
M2 is 11, M3 is 7.5, 8.
Oh, they're by alphabets. M1, M2, M3, baby.
They have the names, but
Obviously.
Oh, cool.
my mother actually labeled M1, M2, M3.
Nice.
So
My wife is M, so yeah.
Ah,
so there's also time for these to appreciate a little bit more.
exactly.
Well, I hope they like it.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much for bringing these by the studio. I'm amazed to see.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see a Kobe card and a Jordan card
That's the
in
rookie card.
person.
Kobe rookie cards,
Yeah.
so of it here.
Yeah,
wanna
just remember if you're kind of missing one, you know where to come back.
Especially the Lakers
Alright,
one.
as long as it's not Malone, it's alright.
All right, anyways, Budhi, thank you very much for
Thank you
coming
for
here
having
with
me.
us.
Thank you
It
for
was
having me.
very
Thank you for
inspiring, of
having me.
course.